Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends on a treadmill. And today we're going to be doing the summon event, the first summon event for the, what's this? Gaius the Gleeful Fusion event. So I think we have the first one is going to be Champ Chase, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Spider Tournament, Classic Arena. Oh no, it's Summon Rush. Oh yeah, it is Summon Rush. Alright. Now we're going to take a look at what the strategy is going to be in terms of how you're going to pull your shards for this event, and how they divvied up the fragments, right? So let's take a look at that first, and then we'll take a look at what they're offering us for Tenx, because I think it's a Tenx weekend this weekend. Alright, so Summon Rush. Everybody knows the best things to use for Summon Rush are Sacred Shards and Void Shards. Okay. 1750 for the 5 fragments, 3500 for the 15 fragments. Alright. So, we all know we need 20 fragments from these summon events. So, if you have 7 Sacred Shards to burn for this particular event, and you want to think about Champ Chase, okay, you can do that. But I think the more shard efficient way to do it would be to pull your 1750 points right now, get that 5, and then get the 15 for Champ Chase. So if you're, it looks like they're keeping the same structure from last fusion event, which means the 15 fragments they're going to ask for Champ Chase is probably going to be in the 2,500 points range. Whew. So, right now I think I'm going to try and pull the 3 Sacred Shards right now. We'll talk about like 10x in general and like why people should opt to save up their shards for pulling in fusion events at the cost of having to pull during the 10x of those fusion events. Alright, here we go. So, in general, I prefer Champ Chase over Summon Rush because I feel like Champ Chase has the better value. Right? Okay. So let's talk about 10x real quick. What kind of 10x have they offered us? Alright. So it looks like we're doing a 10x for Ancient Shards only, and it's all legendary. And it's Duchess, Rhodos, and Kymar. You know, I don't have Duchess, I don't have Kymar, so it is like, I wish it would have just been a straight 10x. If they were going to do like this legendary 10x thing, just turn it on the whole weekend for everything. But they're staggering it day by day. So I think we do have to scroll through the news so we can look at that and give you an honest analysis of what that means for a F2P low standard player. Do they have Summon Party? That's it. So, alright, here we go. There it is, right there. So today we're going to do Ancient Shards. Tomorrow it's going to be for Bad L, Weak Tier, and Mountain King. So I have Weak Tier and Mountain King. There's not a lot of incentive for me to go for Bad L. So pulling Sacreds right now, for me, is not a loss. Actually, it's probably a gain, because I won't pull Weak Tier or Mountain King, who I don't really want dupes of anyway. But, you know, dupes are actually fine now because of of faction guardians. I think it's kind of like an unspoken boon of faction guardians is that I'm not terribly upset with dupes anymore. This is kind of like the backdoor reason to go for the fusion events, because they're diluting the legendary pool with the fusion champs. That's not nearly talked about as much as we should, right? So, two things about fusion champs. There's a positive side and a negative side, just like everything else. So, we already know the positives of the fusion events, right? Because I talk about it a lot in this channel. And the main positives is that it is a guaranteed legendary champ. So guaranteed legendary champs helps you beat the odds, right? Because the odds of you pulling a legendary champ is so tiny. And the odds of you pulling a specific legendary chance is might as well be winning the lottery almost, yeah? So hard to do. So, the next thing that we need to worry about, other than my heart rate's not really going up that much. I need to pump the speed up a little bit. Good. So, as for the downsides of the fusion events, is that while they do let you have an opportunity to use a champ that has either a unique skill set or a like half a tier lower skill set than a top tier sought after champ. There's so many examples of this. I think Kreela is a great example of this, where you wouldn't say Kreela is the best ally attack champ, but she is a really good ally attack champ. You know, you can say a lot. You can say that about a lot of the fusion event champs. To be honest, that they're either extremely unique, that they're that's the only thing they can do, or they're kind of like a tier lower than the absolute top tier champ we have for that category. So something like damage dealers, for example. The fusion champ damage dealers have never been touted as the best damage dealers in the game, but they're kind of like a tier lower, and they do very niche things. Like Herndig is a good example of this. Ashelon's another good example of this. Even somebody like, what was his name? The vampire dude, I forgot his name. But even him, he has AoE Leech, which is kind of has a niche thing that it can do in Hard Dark Fate. Alright, so let's take a look at the champs they're offering first, because honestly I feel like it doesn't matter, but we'll go through them anyway. Duchess Rotos, Kaimar for Ancients, We Fear Mountain King Babel for Sacreds, and then CP, Warlord, and Hegemon for Voids. So like the two shards you pull for Tenx, for Summon Rush I mean, are Voids and Sacreds, right? To me, I prefer Sacreds because it's just kind of like an easy way to keep track of the points. And also, the fact that Void Shards are increasingly becoming more valuable unopened these days because of the quality of guaranteed epic Void champs that they've been putting out recently. So I think it's like, what did they do? Godseeker and Eerie, Visitor Shamel, Madam Ceres. So those are like top tier Void epic champs so far in a row, you know. So, and then also they gave Cold Heart away for 7 Void Shards. So having those void shards available to open, I know, I feel like it's a good thing to do right now, which is why I'm leaning more towards sacred shards. But I understand a lot of people don't have a lot of sacred shards, because sacred shards are also the hardest shard to obtain and to keep, right? So whatever gets you through to the 750 is perfectly fine. An alternate to pulling shards here would be to try and win a tournament. Now, let's take a look at my bracket real quick, if my bracket was winnable. Now that is something you should look out for, obviously. And in this battle, you'll be spending gems instead of shards. So this is fine, right? So let's see how far off I was from number 1 and number 2. So yeah, in my particular bracket, I had no chance. Top one was 16,000, about 2,700 points. So really depends on your bracket. If I'm not mistaken, you're probably being bracketed with people of similar player levels, but I'm not sure how the bracketing system works in tournaments. But I remember they did a free-to-play only contest. I think Chofly Elite did a free-to-play contest, and the winner of that free-to-play contest actually won a tournament trying to get Iron Brago into his account. Iron Brago was the fusion event of that time, yeah, and he won a tournament free-to-play, and enough to get enough fragments to win Iron Brago. So it's possible, and you really do need to give your brackets a look to see if you have a chance. The reason why I don't espouse for it as much is because of how risky it is. So there is a risk. If you're relying on that entirely, it's risky. And then really just collecting as many fragments as you can of any of the fusion champs, if you can do it anyway, even minus the shards, is not a terrible idea, because Clarium has had a history of giving fragments away at some point. Although they kind of didn't do it this year, so maybe it's a harbinger of the times. Not quite sure there. But we are definitely going to pull. So I have champ training on right now, which means I'll be doing mystery shards as well to beef up my food supply. Other than that, let's get on with it, right? So let's do our 3 sacred shards right here, get our 5 fragments, and see what's up. Right. Summon number 1. Alright. Romero. Damn. So, a little bit of a tidbit on Romero, actually. So Romero was one of my first epics, alright? And this is kind of like, let's talk about this real quick, because I think it's important. Because I get questions about books a lot. So they tell me there's not enough books, I'm always short on books, or I'm afraid I won't be able to book up a champ. I'm telling you right now, look at me. Books are not a problem in the game for free-to-play and low spenders. Let me say that again. Books are not a problem in the game for free-to-play and low spenders. Controversial, I get it. But the reality is that, you know what the difference between a free-to-play low spender is versus a Giga Whale, a Giga Chad, Super Raid Whale? The difference is the amount of champions will be able to 6-star quickly is a lot lower. That's it. So if you follow my guides and my advice on how to play Raid, a lot of those champs are going to be rares and uncommons at first, or free epics at first, which means your legendary books are going to be accumulating from day 0. Unless you mistakenly use a Lego book, which is a rookie mistake. Happens to a lot of people. Didn't happen to me, but I did make this rookie mistake of fully booking out Romero. So there's 3 there, for their 8 books. Yeah. I had a Romero, and I saw that he had a tandem ability with Juliana. And Juliana at the time, when I drew Romero, was one of the top epics in the game because she had poison and HP burn in her kit. And I figured, hey, it's an epic. It's one of the top epics. I have the partner for it. I'm going to pull that epic eventually. Let's book him out right now while I'm using him, waiting for her. Big mistake. So, you know, the strategy of waiting for an exact pull, terrible strategy in Raid, which is why I espouse my strategy, which is that you work with a free chance available. You combine it with your luck, obviously, because luck's part of the game. You combine it with your shard pull luck, but your base champs, your first 7 champs for romping through the game, for like Dragon's 20, Minnow 15, other dungeons 13 to 16, those first 7 champs have to be more on the free champ side of the game. So that's a lot of rares, uncommons. There's some really good ones you need to invest in anyway. Like your starter, like Armiger, like War Maiden, you know. And there are some really good rares too that you may need the level 50 at least to get them available if you need them later on. Templar for Bomo solo, Valerie for Scarab King, and Spirit Host for the block debuff and cleanse. So those are kind of just ready at 50 if you need them. Yeah. And there's so many rares that you can pull along the way, like Apothecary, Coffin Snatcher for decreased attack, stuff like that. Bog Walker for decreased attack. So let's get on with it. Yeah. That's one of my first mistakes playing the game. I put 8 books in that guy. Terrible. Terrible investment, but I was able to recover. So the point of that story was I was able to recover from that mistake, and I was able to fully book out relevant cooldowns of all the epics that I ever used in the game. You know. All right. So 3 pulls, all kind of terrible. I mean, I think Logic Falconheart is not bad because he allows you to have full shield coverage in Scarab King. The only thing is that you need to book this down to get that full shield coverage. And that's 6 books, just on this skill. 6 there, 7, and then another 6 there. So that's like 13 books. So it's a little bit risky to invest in Logic Falconheart, but a level 50 Logic Falconheart can get you through hard Scarab King, honestly, if your team is speed tuned. Alright, so that's basically it. Alright, so we're gonna be doing the rest with mystery shards at this point. I pulled my 3. I should be at 1500 right here. And then that's it. Yeah, like the 10x for legendaries, you almost always ignore them. Unless, you know. Yeah, here we go. Good. So I think that was a pretty good summoning session for me. And then next time, we're going to look at Champ Chase. Because there's ways to mitigate Champ Chase. That's why I prefer Champ Chase. So like, I already have, just as a preview, right, for Champ Chase. Let's look a look at Fragment Summons. I have Taya and Nari ready for Champ Chase. That's it. It's going to mitigate the points. 750 right there. It's chunk points. And I think it's 2x Ancients that day, so the rest I'm just going to pull with Ancients. You know. That's it. I'll see you guys next week. Or maybe later. We'll see. Alrighty.